Hey guys, it's Nana, and today I wanted to do a response video to Nancy's video on relatable characters. So it's been a while since I filmed, so excuse any weirdness. I'm also back filming in my room, which means there is some background noise, stupid water pipe, and also the light is not as great. But anyway, the point is I was watching Nancy's video and I had some thoughts. First of all, it's an excellent video. You need to go watch that video. I will leave the link below. And I was just watching it and I was like, thoughts. I wanted to try and film a video and get some of those thoughts out, even if they don't quite make sense. I guess this is just gonna be some word babbling. But it just made me feel things and I felt like you should at least try to film a video and see what happens, and if it's terrible, you don't have to upload it. So yeah. So in Nancy's video, she's talking about relatable characters and what exactly that term means, relatable. Nancy talks about how relatable, in many cases, relatable actually means from a white Eurocentric viewpoint, because that's a perspective that a lot of stories are based from. And for some people, if it doesn't fall within what they're used to and what they already know, then they can't relate. She also talked a little bit about growing up and not really knowing what the term relatable means, because she is Asian American and a lot of stories she read growing up didn't feature those characters, so she was like, of course I can't relate. These people are nothing like me. Why would that even be something I'm thinking about? As I was thinking about Nancy's video, I also stumbled onto this article that was published on Slate earlier last year, and it's called The Awful Emptiness of Relatable. And these two lines in particular caught my attention because I was like, yes, this is so true. Relatable is in the eye of the beholder, but its very nature is to represent itself as universal. It's shorthand that masquerades as description. Without knowing why you find something relatable, I know nothing about either you or it. So basically she's saying that relatable is a very individual term. So if you read a book and find it relatable, that tells me nothing unless you tell me why it's relatable. Did you come from a similar background as the character, or did you also deal with grief in the same way that the character did? So saying something relatable is not really saying much until you delve into why you felt that way. The woman who wrote this article on Slate was talking about how she didn't like this word because she'd be teaching in class and one of her students would be like, oh yes, I found so-and-so to be a very relatable character. And that was it. That was the end of the discussion. They were like, they're relatable, and that's all you need to know. But it's not. You need to delve deeper than that. So I was thinking about my own reading and if I'm searching for relatable characters, and I don't really think so. I think similar to Nancy, growing up, I've read very few books where the character is like me. So I'm not really thinking, okay, yeah, me and this character, we're the same. You know, that almost, has it ever happened? I'm not sure. I'm looking for other things, like, is this character interesting? What are their motivations? Why do they act the way that they do? Basically, I'm looking for reasons why a character might be compelling. Sometimes I do feel a certain connection, and that's great. And other times, not being able to relate is the whole point. Nancy talks about this in her video, and it's also mentioned in the article, but sometimes not being able to relate is the whole point of it. You know, when they're teaching slavery in the classroom, can most people in the class relate to that? No, but it's still something that people need to know about and to learn about for that very reason. They need to know about these experiences. We can't all be living in our own little bubble, you know. There are other people, other cultures, other experiences out there, and we should be trying to learn and understand them, I think. It also makes me think of 12 Years a Slave, which I watched a few weekends ago, and I've wanted to watch it since it came out end of 2013, but I just knew it was going to be such a gut-wrenching story, and it was. If you haven't seen it, it's about a free man living in the North who gets kidnapped and sold into slavery, and gosh, that movie. I saw it, I think, 2 weekends ago, and I'm just not over it because it just opens your eyes. And I think it's one of those movies that is really, really, really hard to watch, but it needs to be done because, again, learning about these other experiences is important, and we can't just shield ourselves because we don't want to know. Boy, yeah, the movie wrecked me. I'm like still, it hurts when I think about it, it hurts. And it should hurt because it was a terrible, terrible things like that happened on the regular. Anyway, tangent. Anyway, getting back to what I wanted to say, I guess I'm sure at some point I've thought, oh, I can really relate to this character, but I want to, I guess, encourage myself and others to dig deeper than that and think, why do I relate to this character? Or if I don't, why don't I relate to this character? What can I learn from this character? Why is the author written this experience this way, and what can this teach me? And just looking at other perspectives and realizing that my viewpoint is not the only viewpoint, I think is important. Nancy said this in her video too. Thinking about the differences in your perspectives and thinking about what you can learn from those differences. Yeah, so those are my rambly thoughts. I don't know if this made any sense, but I just felt like I wanted to say some stuff, so hopefully you didn't mind listening to me blather on. So a few questions. Are you guys looking for relatable characters when you are reading? Is that something you seek out? What does relatable mean to you? What do you think of when you hear the word relatable, I guess is my question. And yeah, if anyone wants to talk about these things in the comments below, please do. I'm going to look at this video and edit it, and hopefully it's not a mess, and I'm nervous because opinions. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you, by the way, to all of my new subscribers that have come over the past few weeks. It's just really cool that people are watching my videos and talking to me, so thank you. And yeah, if you want to talk to me elsewhere, I'm on Goodreads and Twitter and Instagram. I've been a little quiet on social media because work stuff was crazy for the past like week and a half, and it might still be crazy, but I miss social media, so come talk to me. And that's it. If you want a thumbs up or subscribe, please do, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.